Kathianne Lewis, and it's time for a faith lift. Once again, a faith lift. And one of the things that can really get in the way of us building faith in good or God or the universe or principles is trying to make things happen. Because what that says is, I have faith that I can make it happen. I'm not so sure I can have faith that the universe will take over and I can just let things happen. When we become too involved in making life work or getting what we want or having the life we want, if we get too involved, then we turn off the tap to the universe flowing through our life to make it easier for ourselves. One of the things I loved about one of the teachings of Jesus is he said, my burden is light. And he's saying my burden's light because I have found that kingdom, that realm of I can within myself, and I let it work. I let it work. So let me give you a little story, tiny story, about how that might play out. So I'm going back to Peru, and I've been looking forward to it. It's been a long time. I had a trip planned, and then the pandemic happened, and finally, we're going back. And I knew, now watch this, I knew the way that I wanted to go because it's the way I'd always gone. And I knew the airlines I wanted to take. I knew that it was a partner with Alaska, and I've got Alaska miles, and maybe I could use my miles, or maybe I could at least get miles for the trip, and you know how that goes. Well, weird thing. Every time my executive assistant, Monica, tried to book the flight that I chose, they wouldn't accept my credit card, or they wouldn't let it process through. And she couldn't call Alaska. They weren't answering calls, and the South American Airlines wasn't answering calls. And I was getting really discouraged. I was wondering if I should even go to Peru. How are we going to get to Peru? Because I couldn't make it happen. Monica couldn't make it happen. If we can't make it happen, maybe it's not supposed to happen. How many of you have ever thought those thoughts? Come on. Well, finally, I just turned it over. I mean, I said, universe, spirit, God, I call it Holy Spirit, but I just said, I addressed the divine and said, if you want me there, get away for me to get there. And Monica thought of another airlines, and I was surprised that they actually flew into Lima, Peru. And then we could go straight from Lima, Peru to Cusco, where we want to end up. And it was easy. It took just minutes. And what the cherry on top of this beautiful cake was that it was almost a third of what I would have paid to go on the airlines that I thought I should go on. And the flight was better. It was less time, better connections. And I leave and arrive at times that won't upset my whole system. It was so wonderful. It was so much better than what I was trying to make happen. And it only happened after I kind of gave up. Okay, God, I'll let you figure this out. And the universe had a better way, really had a better way. So, my dears, I hope that story helps you. And I want you to think of some area of your life where you are pushing it. And maybe it's time to just take a deep breath and say, okay, Father, Mother, God within, or whatever you want to call it. It really doesn't matter. Jesus, Jehovah, Atman, higher self, universal principle. I will stop pushing. I'm going to let divine intelligence work this out. And I'm going to watch with glad anticipation the deliverance of my answer. So hope that builds your faith, my dears. Give it a try. It will not build faith unless you give it a try. Faith comes from practice, and this is practice. Bye for now.
All our needs are met. 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 Now I won't feel like I have to do anything. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to come in at the end for me doing that, okay? We had our rehearsal. Let's go on tour. Sometimes I forget that all my needs are met. And now and then I fall asleep, thinking things I don't believe, until I wake up in gratefulness, counting all the ways I'm blessed, that all my needs are met. You can clap, please do. There was a time I recall when I couldn't see the light of day. Somehow spirit, sweet spirit, made a way out of no way. That is why I testify, no matter how dark it gets, that all our needs are met. I could not have come this far without the everlasting arm, my shelter from the cold. I'm so grateful that I know, 'cause there were times when I thought I couldn't make it through another day. Somehow spirit, sweet spirit, made a way out of no way. I saw the light, I testify, no matter how dark it gets, that all our needs are met. Happy dance, happy dance. Now, do you really believe that all your needs can be met? That spirit can really hold you, really unfold it for you, really make things better. Things you don't know, makes it easier, opens doors. Yeah. And I know this 'cause I could not have come this far without the everlasting arms, my shelter from the cold. I'm so grateful that I know, 'cause there were times when I thought I couldn't do it all myself. Sweet spirit, I made a way out of no way. I saw the light, I testify, no matter how dark it gets, that all our needs are met. Okay, this is where you come in. All our needs are met. Are you being polite? Yes, in my heart, in my mind, in my soul, in my feet, in my house, in my life, in my words, in my truth, in my music, in my dance, in my love. My needs are met. My needs are met. My needs are met. My needs are met.